2023 was a great year for video games. So much so that I decided to do a top 10 list for my favorite games from this year. Before I get started though, I want to make sure I make this really clear. I'm only going to be covering games that I've played. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm in a bit of a bubble when it comes to video games. I really only have so much time for games, and there are a lot of games that I'm sure are really great that I've missed out on. Baldur's Gate 3, for example, I keep hearing about how good of a game this is, and it won Game of the Year at the Game Awards, so I'm sure it must be great. I have not played this game, however, so it's not going to be on this list. So yeah, just because a game isn't on this list doesn't mean that I actively think that it's not a good game, and doesn't deserve to be on here. Just wanted to make that clear. With that out of the way, here we go. I'm not sure if this really counts or not since it's a remaster of an already existing game on the Nintendo DS, but since hardly anyone seemed to play the original, I'm gonna count it here for this list. Ghost Trick Phantom Detective is a fun mystery game where you play as a spirit solving the mystery of your own death. I've played my share of murder mystery games, but solving your own murder is a pretty cool twist. The gameplay with the way you interact with things is really unique and something you just kind of have to try for yourself, so I recommend you do. It can get kind of annoying when you get stuck at certain points, but fortunately Ghost Trick is pretty forgiving when it comes to letting you restart again and again. The story is really interesting, so you'll want to keep playing to see more. Definitely a game worth checking out. I love rhythm games, and Sega's Samba Amigo series has always been a lot of fun. So yeah, it was awesome seeing Sega revive this series with Samba Amigo Party Central. This game kind of just does more of the same and doesn't really give you anything new, but that's okay, because sometimes more of the same can be a good thing. Shaking Joy-Cons like maracas works really well and is something that anyone can kind of jump into and pick up right away. The song list in Party Central is kind of all over the place, but I guess the variety is appreciated, especially the Sonic songs they added. This game may be simplistic and light on content, but it's also a lot of fun. This isn't the type of game you'd normally see on people's top 10 lists, but what can I say? I like party games. And oh, this transition's so perfect. Speaking of party games, we got a new WarioWare game this year. WarioWare Move It is another game that doesn't really do anything new and kind of gives you more of the same, but I'm a sucker for a good WarioWare game. And like always, this is good, fast-paced fun. If you've ever played WarioWare Smooth Moves on the Wii, then you'll kind of know exactly what to expect. This is more or less Smooth Moves too. The story, if you can call it that, is really stupid and goofy, just the way I like it. Yeah, not much else to say here. It's a new WarioWare, it's good, and I like it. It's probably not something that you'll be hooked on for days and days, but you'll have a wonderful time while you play it. I really wish that this game was higher on my list. Anyone who follows my channel knows how much I love the Sonic series, and this had the potential to be a truly amazing game. But as it is, Sonic Superstars is a pretty good game with some questionable design choices that hold it back. The gameplay is great, it's got solid level design, and the music is, well, it's kind of an inconsistent mess, but some of it is really good. I won't harp on all the negatives here, but I'll just say that overall I had a pretty good time with this game. It's really fun and just, it has so much potential. I really hope that they use Sonic Superstars as a foundation for a sequel that irons out all the problems and makes some improvements, because that can result in something truly great. With that being said though, if you're a fan of classic Sonic gameplay, I can definitely recommend picking up Sonic Superstars. Maybe not at full price though. I don't think it's quite worth $60. If you find it on sale though, then yeah, go for it. I never imagined that I'd be putting a free-to-play Battle Royale game on a list like this, but here we are. F-Zero 99 was a pleasant surprise that's really fun to jump into. Whether you just do a few races and call it good, or play for like 2 hours straight, this game is just awesome to play. It's chaotic, crazy fast, and fits the F-Zero formula perfectly. I'll be honest, I still haven't been able to win a race yet, but I sure as hell am having a lot of fun trying. For anyone who has a Nintendo Switch Online subscription, you should absolutely try this one out. I don't really know what else to say about F-Zero 99 except for it's just really fun to keep playing and jumping in races again and again. Of all the NSO Battle Royale games from Nintendo, this one is by far my favorite. Next up is Mortal Kombat 1. Not to be confused with Mortal Kombat 1. This is yet another reboot of the series with an alternate timeline of events, and as always it's a pretty good and engaging story. Especially for a fighting game where stories typically aren't a strong point. At its core though, it's another solid Mortal Kombat game that's really fun to play. And unlike the last game, they added my favorite character in from the start, so we good there. If you played any of the other recent Mortal Kombat games, then you pretty much know what to expect here. But why fix what isn't broken? This game is awesome. Just, don't get the Switch version. Normally, I'm not really into turn-based RPGs. They're too slow-paced for my taste, and often get too grindy and I just lose interest. Super Mario RPG, however, has always been an exception, and this remake on the Switch is awesome. It takes roughly around 12 hours or so to play through, which may seem like a bad thing to more hardcore JRPG fans out there, but I don't consider this to be a bad thing at all. The dialogue is full of so much charm, and the story moves along at a nice fast pace. This game also has some great unique characters like Geno and Mallow. I mean, people weren't wanting to get Geno into Smash Bros. For nothing. The timing-based battles add an extra layer to the traditional menu battle system, which I appreciate. And overall, Super Mario RPG is just a great game that people like me who usually aren't into these types of games can get into. I could maybe understand if JRPG fans who enjoy 100-hour-long games may not be quite as keen on this one, but it definitely appeals to me a lot more. One of my top games of this year. Wowie zowie! Super Mario Bros. Wonder is, well, it's just wonderful. The art design is amazing and way better than any of those new Super Mario Bros. Games. On top of that though, the levels all provide such a unique experience, especially with those Wonder Flower effects. On the surface, this might just seem like yet another side-scrolling Super Mario game, but yeah, this one definitely stands out on its own, and they did a great job of adding new life in a stale formula. And also, you get to be an elephant. Yeah, Super Mario Bros. Wonder is an excellent platformer. Definitely one that everyone should check out. I mean, unless you hate platformers, I guess. But if that's the case, then you're on the wrong YouTube channel. I love Street Fighter 6. It feels so good to play and it's just got style to it. I'm sure that the more competitive fighting game players could probably go into better detail about what makes the gameplay so good, but yeah, it's just really good. The returning characters are as great as ever, and some of the new characters are really awesome. The World Tour mode is a goofy but fun campaign where you literally become a Street Fighter and just pick fights with random people on the street. It's pretty enjoyable if you don't take it too seriously. I've always been a pretty big Street Fighter fan, but even I was pleasantly surprised by how much I love this one. Just, yeah, Capcom did an amazing job with Street Fighter 6. I love it. And here we are, my pick for the #1 top game of 2023. This might be predictable, I don't know, but I absolutely had to go with The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. While this game doesn't quite have the same impact that Breath of the Wild did, they just improved upon the formula so much and just made it an amazing game. The new abilities you get in Tears of the Kingdom are really cool this time. Being able to ascend through any ceiling, fuse anything and everything together, and craft things out of literally anything. Yeah, it's just some really awesome stuff. I really enjoyed the story, and without spoiling anything, the final battle is so good. Otherwise, just like Breath of the Wild, exploring and finding new things was just a great experience. Exploring the sky above and the caves below just added a whole new layer as well. I thought the dungeons were pretty good, and yeah, I just really liked this game. The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom is my favorite game from 2023. So yeah, those are my picks for the top 10 games of 2023. What do you think? Let me know how much you agree or disagree down in the comments. Also, let me know what your favorite games from this year have been. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a hat-stacking good day.